There were some older women in my life who taught me the right things to do. My name is Nancy Gurish, and I'm a cosmetologist. I'm interested in staying healthy through natural means. I've got 4 YouTube channels. This is the one where I talk about my spiritual life and growing spiritually. I've been doing that lately, and some things are coming to me that have never come to me before in my life. Preparing to die, getting ready to meet God. That's something that you start to think about when you get on the other side of life, on the older side, when you know that your days ahead are shorter than the days behind. And that's been happening for me. Well, I had some good influences in my life growing up, and I'll share it with you. Anything I learn, I try to share with you on staying healthy in body, mind, and spirit. And this is for my spiritual life that I'm sharing this with you. The 2 influences in my life were about 4 women. One woman was my grandmother, and my grandmother, I'll tell you what happened with her. She told me when she was in her either her late 70s or early 80s, she said, "You know what, I always wanted to bowl." And I said, "Okay, Grandma." I said, "I'll bring you bowling." And she said, "No, I don't want to go." And I said, "Why not, Grandma? It'll be fun." And she said, "I don't want to have fun." Today I know what she meant. There were some women that lived next door to me from where I grew up. In the house that I grew up, there were 3 older Italian women that lived in the house next door to me. And after they got older, like up near my age and around there, they started to dress in all black. And what was said about them was that they were preparing for death. We giggled about that. We thought it was funny. In the 50s and the 40s, beginning in the 50s and the 60s, the old world knowledge began to get lost. They started to tuck that away and say that that was old school thinking and that it wasn't important, and it wasn't. They said it wasn't right. They said that the new school ways were the right way. And those old women knew how to take care of our bodies and knew how to keep their health and their family's health in good order through good foods and mineral supplementation. They also knew how to keep their spiritual souls in order. They knew the right things, but we said, no, we don't need to do that. That's old world stuff. We're going to get rid of that. And a lot of that knowledge got lost. And that's the kind of thing that I try to find out to stay healthy, is what kind of, like, eat a green vegetable every day, gives you the minerals that your body needs. It gives it the mineral support it needs to stay healthy throughout a whole day. Eating 1 hot meal every day, it releases an enzyme in our bodies that we need to have released on a daily basis. And that's something I learned from the Andy Mayberry show. Aunt B said it to Andy when she was leaving town. She said, "Remember to eat a green vegetable every day and eat 1 hot meal," because she knew that that was very vital for the operation of his body and little Opie. Well, I thought back on what those old women did. They were preparing to die. And as you get older, you start to think about it. What if the stuff is true? What if all that stuff is true? What if meeting God is accurate? What if we live forever, you know? The things I learned growing up was that we live forever, that we don't die, life does not end with our physical death, but we go on to live forever. And I believe this is true. So I've been around the block with the Catholic Church. I was born Catholic and raised Catholic, and I did never really learn much about it. Everything that I had as an adult was preconceived stuff. I found out that I didn't even know stuff. So I started going to church, and I started to learn things on my own. And I started to come to understand some things that I never understood before. The one thing is Jesus' presence on the altar in the Catholic Church. The host is really Jesus. It isn't just a symbol. The wine is really his blood, and that's real. It's not just a symbol. So you come to understand these things once you get an open mind. Even at young ages, we have closed minds, and that's something that I want to change. I'm not that old that I can't learn something new, you know. So what am I doing to prepare to die? It started to become obvious to me. And I love things that just make sense, except sometimes I really don't like things that just make sense. But it makes sense to me that I am going on to live forever. And so what am I going to do to prepare to die? I want to see what kind of notes I made. Now, for one thing, I want to tell you that for myself, I got afraid of this. And I don't want to fear it, because it's like getting healthy and you think you have to eat good, and I cannot eat good. I mean, I eat Hershey bars, and I eat fast foods. I don't have much time. I'm not well experienced at eating right and eating good, and I'm not about to go vegan yet, okay? And I still love coffee, so I have to go easy on myself. I gotta go forward, and I gotta make changes, but I can't feel like I'm gonna just die if I don't do this thing, you know? And if I scare myself, if I think of the alternative, if I don't do the right thing to prepare for death, and I really truly believe in heaven and in hell, it's gonna scare me, and it has scared me. It scared me a lot. So I have to try to find the truth, and I have to go forward with it. Now, the truth for me, I'm going to make more videos about this because it's too much to, of course, you know what I mean? I'm 60 for God's sakes, and I'm just starting to learn some things, you know? So little bits and pieces in my life. That's how I like to make changes. But I understand that those women, I understand what they were doing. They understood, my grandmother and those other 3 women, they knew that there was more to this whole picture than is right here on earth. This isn't the big show. It's like the little kid that wanted to go to the circus. All his life, he really wanted to go to the circus. He's a real little boy. It's in a town that's very, very poor, and he's always wishing he could go. He finds a ticket to the circus on the ground. He's all excited, and he goes home, and he shows his mom and dad, I got this ticket. The circus is coming, and I got this ticket. And they're not so sure, but he goes out the day of the circus is supposed to be in town, and he's out on the main public square, and he sees a monkey advancing, and he sees some girls coming in, ballerinas twirling, and baton twirlers and ballerinas and people doing cartwheels, and he's just elated, and he cannot believe that he's seeing the circus. And he runs home, and he tells his family, look at this, I saw the circus, I saw the circus. And they look at the ticket, and they see the time, and they realize that the kid didn't see the circus. It was just the beginning. It was just the preview. It was the practice of the people that were going to be in the circus workers. He never saw the big event. And this is not the big show that we're seeing here. This isn't what it's all about. There's good things to come for us. And I'll take you with me on my journey of finding out how to prepare. Peace, buttercups.